Hello, and welcome to Dispatches from the Civil War, a podcast breaking down events of the American Civil War week by week in real time. My name is Logan, and I will be your host. This week, the events of February 22nd through the 28th in 1861. President-elect Lincoln will arrive in Washington, D.C. after altering his schedule en route after getting word of an assassination threat. When he arrives to the Capitol, he will be greeted by various delegations, including members of the Peace Conference. Speaking of which, the conference has created 6 proposed constitutional amendments. Seems a little bold considering the steps needed to get an amendment through, but hey, go for it, big boys. Despite how earnest members of the conference are, there is little chance of acceptance. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives strike down a plan for a constitutional convention and vote against amendments to interfere with slavery and against the Crittenden Compromise. In the South, Jefferson Davis, who is now head of the Confederacy, will appoint an envoy of 3 delegates to approach officials in the federal capital with offers of peaceful negotiation of differences. Davis will also receive word from South Carolina Governor Pickens that there is need for a Confederate takeover of Fort Sumter to preserve honor and safety. In regards to Fort Sumter, Major Anderson has been in constant communication with Washington. It is apparent that the states that have formed the Confederacy by secession are growing bolder and are more willing to confirm their independent status, a step of which involves controlling federal properties. Checking in on the political movement in the states, Missouri holds a state convention to debate secession. North Carolina votes against having a state convention for the same purpose with a vote of 46,409 in favor and 46,603 against. That's a bit of a squeaker. Clearly, North Carolina is not as totally committed to the idea of secession as South Carolina has been. And that rounds out the week with the mood in Washington being somewhat subdued despite the upcoming inauguration. The outgoing administration is taking very little action, but rather waiting for the beginning of the next. Clearly, Fort Sumter is going to be a delicate issue, a metaphorical, unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. The Confederacy does not wish for the fort to be reinforced, and the federal government does not want to abandon it. Maybe the Peace Convention's compromise proposals could save the day? I guess we will find out as we roll into March next week. Thank you for listening to Dispatches from the Civil War, written, produced, recorded, and developed by myself with assistance provided by Rosemary and Paige, the podcast kitties. If you've enjoyed this or other episodes, please consider putting up a review and recommending it to your friends. Until next time, keep fit as a fiddle and toe the mark.